Oh, hi there. Today, a film photography road trip in the mountains of Canada with my wife Lindsay. We take some photos, we eat some tacos, and we go on a helicopter.
Stars are tracing the sky like city windows. I watch you reflect in your eyes. Slow dance on the New York City high-rise. You and me on top of the world. And I'm feeling like it was only ever you. And I'm feeling like it was something I won't lose. You were a part of me.
Welcome to our trip. We're currently in Toronto, which is where Keanu Reeves grew up. Not at the airport though. Yorkville specifically, which is 18 kilometers or 11 miles from the airport, which is out there. But you can't see his house because it's raining. Everyone say hi to Lindsay. The lounge has moved away from the buffet system and into the single serving. And wow, yeah, I didn't realize that there's actually 2 slices here. Looking at the board and we're like, we should go to Banff in Yoho National Park in Canada. So that's what we do. We just walk to the gate and we just try to get on the airplane. Sometimes they let you, sometimes they tell you to go away. First one's on the airplane. I'm kidding, that's not how we actually got these seats. We were actually at the bank and we rock, paper, scissored a lady for her flights. This was her trip, now it's ours.
Like I'm at the dentist's office.
No, Lindsay, you're on an airplane. There is a link in the description to some merch if you're interested. These hats will be out soon, but right now you can get some sweaters. Can't get this though. This is my cheese cannelloni, and it's mine forever, because I ate it. Arriving in Calgary, we get a rental car, and it is programmed to say "Welcome, Cool Crew," which is really awkward. Just arrived in Canmore, and tomorrow morning it's going to be some sunrise photos. It's going to be starting with Portra 800 as well as 400. Smash that like button. Can it be a video on this channel without a helicopter? I don't know anymore. But what I do know is that Alpine helicopters in Canmore is one of the best experiences we've had on a helicopter. They got the bubbles that come out the sides. So it's not doors off, you're warm, but you can get photos through the glass bubbles on the side. You'll see in a minute. You can actually get shots of the tail rotor and whatnot. It appears as though you're outside, you're not reaching through the windows or anything, you're actually just in the bubble. This is the scale that they weigh you on. They made it into the deck because they fancy. They have many helicopters. You can go on one too if you wish. Give them a call. We asked if there was in-flight taco service, but he didn't really understand what I meant, so there's unfortunately no tacos in the helicopter today. They did honor my second request, which was to get a helicopter with the same interior color as my jacket, so shout out to Alpine for making that happen.
Call me a man.
If you're interested in your clothes smelling like fondue for the remainder of the trip, head on over to Grizzly House, where they serve buffalo and caribou, according to the sign, which is not the weirdest thing. The weirdest thing is actually on the menu right here. It's the exotic animal fondue, which comes with alligator, rattlesnake, ostrich, frog legs, buffalo, venison, and daily exotic fish, which I assume is probably Nemo from Finding Nemo, or maybe Dory. We ordered a bunch of sides, and Lindsay touched the fondue with her finger. Sicko. And then we went to go see A Man About a Bear. Took some photos on a disposable camera. It's looking like a good morning out there so far. Loading Portra 400 into the M7. And this is the wine that we get for being an Expedia preferred guest. And a bit of a mountain view out here. Here we have the start of Blue Hour. We'll be photographing the Three Sisters, which is up over here. And I'm hoping we get that early morning light since the sky is so clear. Just kind of that orange band kind of right across there. We'll find out together. The 28 on this Leica M7. I have the, I think this is like a 43 or something weird, which is kind of half of that technically on, at least in full frame terms. So something around like a 21. I also have the XPan, which is a 45 pano. And probably honestly like my favorite camera here. Even though it's not the most famous, I really enjoy this medium format point and shoot. The photos from Iceland that I got off this thing, absolutely incredible. Probably my favorite camera from the entire trip. And I also brought the M6, it's saying a lot. It's a pretty long drive from our hotel today. 2 whole minutes. So far looking like a promising morning. That's the frame there, but there's gonna be some water here. To get to this spot, you go under this train bridge, and then you walk out there, find water. You never really know what you're gonna find down here at Policeman's Creek in Canmore. Wolverines, bears, probably just photographers though. A small collection today. My cameras are the loudest though. Everyone else, quiet cameras, my cameras, super loud and annoying. My camera selection this morning is based entirely off focal length, and this GA645W is the correct focal length, which is great. See? Told you it's annoying. I also have the Nikon R8, which is a super 8mm camera. You saw the footage in the beginning. I loaded Ektachrome into this, so it's Ektachrome 100, and I really enjoy using this camera, to be honest. Unfortunately, Super 8 film is a little bit expensive these days to run, but to come out here and to run one roll, I'm super happy to do that. Nikon. Who would have thought? In order to properly shoot this location, you have to be here at the right time of the year, and we are not. You don't actually get that nice sunlight band during sunrise at this time of the year. You get kind of this. It's all right, but not quite a 10 out of 10. You can go in an app like Sunseeker and see the AR of where the sun rises. As you can see, a little bit different. The red line up there is summer solstice, and the bottom line is winter solstice. This is when the sun peaked up a little bit. Started to look really nice. We will get into a little bit of Ektachrome later when we get into the lakes that have blue tones and Blue Hour morning. I kind of shot through Blue Hour and a Golden Hour with Portra 400 and 800, which are films that primarily kind of give you just really nice yellow golden properties. So that was an intentional film stock choice and one that you yourself can choose. Kodak Gold is also, I would say, if you're not with the recent price hike of film, if you're not prepared to shell out for Portra 400, Kodak Gold 200 would be my second choice in this scene. We tried to drive up the mountain to a place called Grassy Lakes, grassy with an I, and I assume that the dot on top of that I is a heart, like any good stripper should sign their signature. And unfortunately the road was closed. They were doing construction, so we turned around and headed to a small local park that we had passed on the way up the hill. We saw a lot of dogs there, so we knew it was probably a pretty cool spot. And this park actually came with a bonus feature, which is extended golden hour. It was not golden hour still anywhere else in this area, but this park seemed to have still contained the properties of golden hour. We're a little late, but there's still one photo left right there, foot framed this way. And after doing the lake water challenge, where you drink a liter of water from a random lake, we decided it was time to head back to the hotel to grab some breakfast. What's for breakfast? Oh, Ektachrome and the XPan 2. A lot of people know it's important to keep your film in the fridge. Not a lot of people know you're supposed to keep your film photography cameras in the fridge as well. Kidding, don't do that. How many exposures will it give me at Pano? I'm gonna call 21. Blackjack. 20. The XPan is a panoramic camera, so it's taking kind of two 35mm frames at one time with one shutter. Beautiful electric fireplace in the mountains. Is that tinfoil? So they wrap, this is a sticker. They put a sticker on here to make it look like it's on fire. Really enjoying the placement of this painting. They couldn't have just put it centered. They want it right here. Beautiful, right? I only shot one roll on the XPan, and it turned out to be most of my favorite images from the trip, so I should have shot it more, but I didn't. Kind of wish the frame could be more like that, but it is a 45mm lens on here, so the frame looks like this. Ektachrome and this camera, really a match made in heaven, or at least on Earth in Rochester, New York, and also Sweden, I guess. This is actually boiled Dr. Pepper, not coffee, as you might suspect. This is Lindsay, from a camera that I haven't shown you yet, but I will show you soon. At this hotel, they actually give you your own hot tub. Every single guest has their own hot tub, which is kind of nice. So mine is on the left, and Lindsay's is here on the right. The hotel actually has 300 rooms, so there are at least 600 hot tubs kind of around this facility, which is really unique. Not only is Canmore the hot tub capital of Canada, but they also have tacos. I'm starting to be convinced my conspiracy theory is that Mexican restaurants only make money on the guacamole. Every other menu item they break even on, and that's why guacamole is $27. Now that it's in cinematic mode, can you take a bite? Wow, so cinematic mode. The reveal of the secret camera is the DaBaby camera. No comment on DaBaby's recent life choices, but it's a funny camera, or it was a funny camera. Driving up the highway into Banff National Park and onwards to a place called Emerald Lake. It's actually in BC in a second park called Yoho National Park, but it is a scenic drive. I think that Banff National Park, I've been to a lot of mountainous regions in the world, and I would say that Banff has some of the nicest driving. It seems like you're just kind of perfectly placed within the mountains, and it's just real nice. There's also a parallel road called Highway 1A that is a much nicer drive even than the main highway. So if you got some time, take the 1A. You'll see some things like this along the way. Wow, right? Cabins and leaves. And to completely beat this next location to death, Emerald Lake, again, coming up on the channel. Been here a lot. It's the easiest place for me to do a camera review, so we come here often. It's beautiful. It's very nice. I love staying here. If you're ever in the Banff area, definitely check out the Emerald Lake Lodge. It's worth staying a night. And they got a nice hot tub. They build you a fire in your room, and you can use your DaBaby camera if you want. There's a photo. Flash is on. And another photo. Also flash still on. When the cheese is very cold, that's how you know when it's good. Here's a new menu item that I have not encountered in my travels so far, the elk strip loin. I had finished the Portra 400 earlier in the day, and it's time to up the difficulty level and to run some Ektachrome 100. The reason the difficulty level goes up is because with slide film, with color positive film, you basically have to nail every single exposure, and if you're a little bit off, you can't really recover nearly as much as you could if you were shooting something like a Portra 400. And the difficulty gets even more challenging because Emerald Lake Lodge, at least, usually all the interesting bits are in the shade from the mountains, and then the mountains are a lot brighter, and then the sky is obviously brighter than that. So putting in some Portra 800 kind of as a backup in case I don't feel comfortable with my exposures. I also have Portra 800 in the 6.7, and this is the last photo from it, and now it's done. And now you gotta lick it, because Kodak makes you lick the film like a stamp to seal it. So it's really nice, but I have kind of no idea what to do with the niceness here. Some foreground elements here. I don't know if I can do kind of a vertical frame. I don't know if that's anything. Over here, we're getting a little light up top, which is nice. Lindsay went for a swim. I continue taking some photos with the Contax T3. I'm not going to show you many. I feel like I've been to this location so many times on this channel, so if you want to see more about it, head on over to the Nikon Z9 review. This is Sunseeker. I'm just kind of seeing when the sun is supposed to come up tomorrow morning and what the best time is, because if you go out for sunrise, blue hour, you're probably going to be waiting a while. So no reason to wake up early if you don't have to. Got 3 s'mores, 100 logs, full cord. Lindsay made this beautiful fire with her own 2 hands. It was definitely not bathed by housekeeping staff.
No, look, now it's my own work. Matches it gave us her buds, okay. So cute.
The next morning, did not advance film enough at the start of the roll, was left with half a photo, underexposed. If you ever need to know what exposure to set your camera at, and your light meter is maybe a little more inaccurate in the dark, head on over to your app. Find any of them. I find them to actually be pretty decent as far as getting the correct exposures. I was hesitant at first. I was like, how's an iPhone going to tell me the proper exposures? But it works. I don't know. Again, don't want to show you too many of these scenes. I feel like after this, I've officially retired this location from the channel. But it was on our $10 bill a long time ago. This is a brand new location. No one's ever heard of it before. Oh, and the bass that you hear is actually them pumping the public toilets. There's a truck there, and they're collecting everyone's deposits. And it happened for about 2 hours, so I don't know how often they come, but probably not enough. That's it. A few more photos from over here. Ektachrome, notoriously difficult to shoot in these situations where it's just really, really bright in the sky and you want to retain some of that detail. I find that your photos get really, really green if you try to do too much highlight recovery on Ektachrome. Here we go. Canoe ride for 2. Guess how much a canoe ride is here. If you said $100, you're closer than you should have been. I don't know how many times they paid for this canoe. I feel like every day, every single canoe is fully paid for. You can, however, bring your own if you're feeling ambitious. I then made Lindsay paddle us around under the disguise of, I'm recording you Instagram Reels. Why are they horizontal? I don't know. Maybe an interesting thing to point out. This is the iPhone automatic exposure and white balance. This is actually what the scene was when I used the flash in the Contax T3. Again, Portra 800 in that. Now you're on board with the Leica M7. Location officially retired, grabbing the luggage, victory dance, heading to Lake Louise, which is about maybe 25 minutes away. Very similar in color to Emerald Lake. In fact, it used to actually be called Emerald Lake. The white dude that came here to rename it from the people that already had named it, called it Emerald Lake, and then took, I guess, like he just walked down the road a little bit, or I guess maybe it was not a road at the time, but walked over there and was like, this is also called Emerald Lake. And then people were like, you can't just call everything Emerald Lake, man. So they renamed this Lake Louise after a princess. The princess's last name is Alberta. That's the name of the province too. Here we are. And the building they built when they were building the railway from coast to coast in Canada, because was our make work project. Whenever basically Canada became a country, and we're like, ah, shit, we broke. And then they're like, I know, if we build a railway all the way across. And then they found all these mountains. And the hotel we're staying in is actually the project lead, I guess. He built a cabin here because he's like, this is so nice, I should stay here. And then they kept getting drunk and burning it down and whatnot. And now it's rebuilt in concrete. Anyways, the XPan, holy crap, right? I'm super happy with that image. This one's whatever. This is usually what I take in a normal aspect ratio. XPan, so much better. This is a video of Lindsay Instagramming her Caesar.
It's full Canada.
Why is it windy in the room? And then we paddled our way to the bar downstairs. Lindsay ordered a drink so complex that it takes 2 bartenders to actually complete it. But seriously, this guy went way above and beyond in order to create a plane for Lindsay's paper plane.
Wow, that is incredible. It's perfect. Thank you so much.
And then we ordered potatoes in a configuration that I had not seen before. Those are potatoes. This bread though, this butter, amazing. Probably homemade. I don't know how you make butter, but maybe it's homemade. Jeff Mack, if you're watching, please comment about the tomatoes in that caprese salad. And on that photo, the T3. The film is done. It's rewinding. It's really boring to just watch that. Here's a photo I took with the Mamiya 7ii. Ektachrome. The next morning, we headed up to Moraine Lake. This was one of the last days it was actually open. It closes usually October 15th-ish, or maybe exactly, every single year. And it's nice to get here for sunrise, because usually that's when the lake is at its calmest. There's no canoes in the water, and unfortunately today it was just raining though. So not the most ideal. We decided to hang out for a little bit, see if it improved. Eventually I put this camera on a tripod and started taking a few photos. I would say that it is a 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10 day here at the lake. But the last time I was here, it was a hard 1 out of 10, so I'll take it. We did the traditional spot with all of the photographer tripods set up. Then we came down here to a spot that I consider to be better, and there's no one around. I'm going to be using the Fuji GA645W, and it frames vertically because it puts all the frames in the film, so you get more. You get 16 frames off this camera on a 120 roll. I can't believe how still the lake is. It was raining. We almost left. Turned out to be a beautiful morning. The only thing that would make it better is if the sun actually pokes through and hits the tips of the mountains, but I don't think that that's gonna happen. I feel like we've already experienced enough good fortune today. The rain started to come back, so we decided to head out and head back to our hotel to get a beverage that I hadn't seen on a machine before. A Choco Chino. Spoiler, it was not good. It did go with the special of the day, which was sugar 16 ways. Back in the room, a few photos of the Leica, the 28, and then Ektachrome going in, Contax T3. You're never going to guess what the next photo is going to be. Do you see it yet? Oh yeah. Next I may be doing a photo of my shoes with leaves around it. Very, very hard. How many snacks did you get?
Just a couple. That's critical. Health food.
We took our pickled chips. I went to go visit some friends. One of the cool things with Banff National Park and this area is that animals are pretty chill around your vehicles. There are signs, at least in Jasper, that say to not let the moose lick your car. I guess moose, they like the salt or whatever, so they'll come and they'll try to lick your car. Don't let them do that. That's my one tip. You can watch though, just don't let them lick. With Ektachrome still loaded in the Hasselblad XPan, we headed up the mountain to do a few photos of the city of Banff from above. Also, sheep and longhorn sheep hang out here too if you want to come and see some animals sometime. Norquay Lookout. And we're moving to another railway hotel. This was actually the first hotel that was built in Banff National Park when it was established as Canada's first national park. And there it is. And I can't really see it yet. How about we see it together through the Super 8 camera? There it is. And that's what it looks like through, again, the Ektachrome film. Infinite zoom, not infinite, but pretty close to infinite zoom on this Super 8 camera. Kind of cool. Kind of challenging to focus, though, whenever you're zooming in a lot and coming back to wide. I will say that the Banff Springs Hotel has one of the nicest pools. It's probably haunted, but it's one of the nicest pools of any hotel, especially in the winter. There's the indoor one, and then also there's a pool outdoors that's essentially, it's a hot tub, gigantic hot tub. It's really nice. For our last night in Banff, we headed to the city. Bit of a walk down these stairs, then up some stairs, then down some stairs, then up some more stairs. Google Maps said that this walk was mostly flat, but it is clearly a liar. Of all of the images from all 157 cameras that I brought on this trip, I would say that the most valuable to me are actually from the disposable camera. I think that is maybe a testament to something that's just small that you can bring with you all of the time. You're not worried about breaking or something that you actually have to set up or meter or whatever. I find that just by having something that I can just bring and put in my pocket and take photos, I feel like you compartmentalize the memories of the trip. I think that there's something to be said. I think psychologically, if we're always staring at a screen, you kind of don't retain that. There's actually science behind this. If you're staring at a screen and you're living your life through that screen, you don't form memories in the way that you do if you actually are taking them specifically kind of on film. I find this especially, we've done trips to Banff before where we've shot everything digital and we do a bunch of video and we do a bunch of photo and we really do live on those screens. And I will come home from the trip and I will not really remember what we actually did. I remember all of the moments that I took with this disposable camera. So if you are interested, maybe don't go disposable. I feel like there's a little bit too much waste involved. But go for something that's small, point and shoot style that you can bring with you wherever. I feel like it just creates better memories from a trip. Definitely something that's different than what your phone would usually capture. I feel like we use our phones so often and we just create so much content on them that you're never gonna really just kind of look through memories of a trip. However, if you send your camera off, your film off to be developed, and you get maybe 4x6 prints done, and you make a little book out of that, I feel like that's a lot more tangible of a thing. I know you can print iPhone photos as well, but I feel like having the secondary process of something there to capture memories is easier for me and actually gets done. I guess that's another thing. So yeah, that's a trip. Ektachrome roll, done. Super 8, you saw it at the beginning. I am very happy with the footage. I will be shooting a lot more of this over the next little bit. I'm gonna clean the camera because the interior, there's just a bunch of stuff in there. Older camera, got it on eBay. And shout out to this chimichanga, I guess, from the airport lounge. Now on our way home, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in coming to Banff, I do recommend it. It's a great trip. And another thing, always bring cheese quesadillas with you. Wherever you go, always have some cheese quesadillas handy to hand to your wife or your friends. You're gonna be their favorite. It's only fitting that the last photo from the Dub Baby Cam is of a Dub Baby Cam. Well, that was a fucking mistake. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in seeing more film photography road trips, there is a link to, I guess, the season 1 playlist below. So go check that out. Go watch the Iceland episode. Iceland episode is my favorite episode from the series so far. Other ones are nice too, but more to come. We've got some good stuff coming up. So don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed and turn the bell on to be notified whenever new ones go up. Don't forget, smash that like button